A stepmother transformed her stepdaughter into a fish and hid her in the pond as a living ornament. But every night, the water whispers, and her reflection cries for freedom. Now the mansion trembles with secrets too dark to stay buried. Watch till the end. Something in that pond is not just water. In the heart of Lekki, where the rich build houses tall enough to kiss the clouds, stood a mansion that glowed like gold at sunset. Inside it lived Madame Kem, a woman whose beauty could make flowers bend and whose heart could make angels weep. Her husband, Chief Adigwe, was a wealthy businessman, respected, feared, and often away on travels. But in his absence, the mansion was ruled not by love, but by Nkem's jealousy. Chief Adigwe had a daughter from his late wife, Amara, a gentle girl with skin like moonlight and eyes that shimmered like water at dawn. Everyone who met her loved her. Everyone, except Nkem. Every morning, Amara would water the flowers in the courtyard and feed the small fish in the living room pond, a round marble pool, clear as glass, where golden fish swam lazily beneath the chandelier. That pond was Nkem's pride. Guests always admired it, and she would smile proudly, saying, "Even fish live in luxury under my roof." But one evening, when Chief Adigwe traveled to Abuja for business, Nkem stood by the balcony, watching Amara laugh and play with the housemaid. Her laughter, soft and innocent, cut through the air like a melody. Nkem's eyes narrowed. "That laughter," she hissed to herself, "reminds me too much of her mother, that woman who stole all the love before death did her mercy." That night, as the moon poured silver light through the window, Nkem went to her private room, a place filled with strange bottles, dried herbs, and a mirror that whispered. She lit a candle made of goat fat and sprinkled red sand on the floor. The mirror flickered. "What is it you seek, daughter of envy?" the mirror asked. Nkem's voice trembled with bitterness. "I want her gone. I want peace in my house. I want the girl out of sight forever." The mirror shimmered and answered. "Then let her become what she adores most." At dawn, Nkem prepared a bowl of pap and honey and called Amara sweetly, her voice dripping with false kindness. "My dear child, come eat before you faint. You look weak." Amara smiled, too trusting, and sat to eat. As soon as she swallowed the first spoon, her body froze. Her eyes widened. Her skin glistened. Before she could scream, her hands began to shimmer into silver scales. Her legs fused, twisting into a long, glittering tail. In moments, Amara was no longer human, she was a small, beautiful fish, gasping softly as tears rolled from her tiny glassy eyes. Nkem looked down at her creation and whispered, "Now you will always stay where you belong, quiet, pretty, and beneath me." She took the fish carefully in a bowl and dropped it into the marble pond in the living room. The little fish swam in circles, confused, shimmering under the chandelier. Guests who came later that week admired it, saying, "Ah, Madame Kem. This new fish is so beautiful. Where did you find it?" And she would smile and answer coldly, "From the waters of my own home." But every night, when the house was silent, strange things began to happen around that pond. At first, the housemaids noticed it, the faint humming sound that floated through the mansion after midnight. It wasn't the wind, nor the hum of the air conditioner. It was a voice. A soft, watery voice singing a lullaby in Igbo. "Miri na isa anya, nnem, kpu m enulo. The water washes my eyes, mother, call me home." They whispered among themselves, afraid to tell Madame Kem, who had grown colder and quieter since Amara's disappearance. But the pond knew. The chandelier above it flickered each time the fish sang. The water rippled even when there was no breeze. And if one looked closely, the little fish's eyes shimmered like they held secrets, secrets of pain, secrets of memory. One night, as Nkem sipped wine in the living room, she heard the whisper herself. The voice floated through the room, gentle but haunting. "Mama, why did you turn me cold?" The glass slipped from her hand and shattered. She looked around, trembling. "Who's there?" The pond rippled. The chandelier flickered. And for just a moment, she saw it, Amara's reflection, half human, half fish, staring back at her from the water. "No, no. It can't be." Nkem cried, stepping back. The house shook slightly, as though the walls themselves had taken a breath. The maids ran in, startled, but Nkem shouted, "Get out. All of you." Leave me alone. That night, she barely slept. And when she finally drifted off, she dreamt of the ocean, dark and endless. In the waves, a familiar voice echoed. You can't hide me forever. By morning, strange things began happening. Whenever Nkem tried to feed the fish, it refused to eat. Whenever guests came near the pond, the water would turn slightly red, like blood mixed in the ripples. Sometimes, a small, shadowy hand could be seen beneath the surface, brushing against the marble walls. The cook swore she once saw a face in the water. The gateman refused to pass the living room at night. But the worst came one evening when Chief Adigwe returned home early. "Where's Amara?" he asked casually as he dropped his briefcase. "I haven't heard her voice. Is she staying with her aunt again?" Nkem's heart pounded. She forced a smile. Yes, Chief. She went to visit her aunt in Enugu. You know how she loves traveling." "Ah, good," he said, nodding. "She'll be back before my birthday, I hope." That night, when Chief went upstairs, the pond began to glow faintly. And this time, the fish rose slowly to the surface, its silver scales shining under the light. A faint whisper filled the air again. "Father. I'm still here." The next morning, Chief Adigwe sat in the living room reading the newspaper when he noticed something peculiar. The fish pond beside him, normally calm and clear, was shimmering with strange movements. The little silver fish swam to the edge and stopped, its eyes fixed on him. Chief leaned closer. "Aha, see as this fish day look me. Nkem, were you even by this one? You get human eyes." Madam Kem's hand froze halfway to her cup of tea. It's imported," she stammered. "From Dubai. I wanted something different." Chief chuckled. "Different indeed." He moved closer, peering into the pond. For a heartbeat, the water reflected not his face, but the faint image of a girl's eyes, glistening like trapped tears. He blinked and stepped back. "What kind of fish is this, Nkem?" "You're tired, Chief," Nkem said quickly. "Maybe rest a little." He didn't argue, but his mind refused to rest. Later that night, when Nkem went upstairs, he returned quietly to the living room with a flashlight. The mansion was silent except for the ticking wall clock and the faint hum of the generator outside. He knelt beside the pond. "Let me see you well, my friend," he whispered with a smile. But as the beam of light touched the water, the reflection rippled, and for a moment, he saw something that froze his blood. A face. A girl's face. Amara's face. Her lips moved under the water. "Papa, help me." Chief stumbled backward, his heart thundering. No, it's a dream," he muttered, wiping his eyes. But when he looked again, only the small silver fish swam gently in the ripples. He barely slept that night. By dawn, he called his younger sister, Auntie Ngozi, a woman known for her spiritual insight. She lived in Surulere and was feared for the way she saw things others didn't. "Ngozi," he said on the phone, "something strange is happening in my house. I think it has to do with Amara." Ngozi's tone dropped low. "What do you mean, has to do?" "Chief, where is that girl?" Chief sighed heavily. Nkem said she went to Enugu. "But my heart says she didn't." There was silence on the line, then Ngozi whispered, "Don't touch that pond until I come." That evening, just before rain began to fall over Lagos, Auntie Ngozi arrived at the mansion dressed in white lace, carrying a small calabash and a bundle of broomsticks tied with red cloth. Madam Kim met her at the door, forcing a smile. "Ngozi. What a surprise." "Yes," Ngozi said calmly, her eyes sharp. "I came to see my niece, Amara." The silence that followed was deep and heavy. The chandelier flickered once, twice. The pond in the living room made a sound, a splash, as though something inside it had stirred. Ngozi turned her head slowly toward it. She murmured. "So, the pond is restless." Nkem swallowed hard. "It's just the fish." "Don't lie to me," Ngozi cut in, her voice suddenly cold. "There's something inside that water that is not meant to be there." She began to walk toward the pond, her anklets jingling softly. Chief stood behind her, confusion and fear mixing in his chest. Ngozi knelt beside the water, closed her eyes, and whispered an incantation. Miri Nke Mdo, Gosai Eziakwu. Water of life, reveal the truth. The water shimmered. The air turned cold. The chandelier dimmed. And slowly, the shape of a girl's hand rose beneath the surface of the pond, pale, trembling, reaching upward toward the light. Chief gasped and fell to his knees. Jesus! That's Amara's hand. Ngozi turned sharply to Nkem. What have you done, woman? Nkem's lips trembled. I didn't mean to. I only wanted peace. She was everywhere. Reminding me of... Silence. Ngozi thundered. You have cursed your own blood. The pond began to swirl violently, splashing water onto the marble floor. From within, a voice cried, soft and echoing. Mama, why did you make me a fish? The chandelier flickered wildly, lightning flashed across the Lagos sky, and thunder rolled as though the heavens themselves were angry. The pond boiled and frothed, the once clear water turning cloudy and red. Auntie Ngozi stood firm, chanting ancient words, her voice rising over the storm. What was hidden must be revealed. What was silenced must speak. The fish darted in panic, the water spinning in a glowing whirlpool, until, with a flash of light, the marble pond cracked open. From within it rose a shape, Amara, no longer just a girl, no longer just a fish. Her body shimmered between both forms, half human, half water. Her eyes glowed with pain and purity. She looked at her father first. Papa, she whispered, her voice echoing through the mansion, I didn't run away. I was here, watching you eat, laugh, sleep, while I swam beneath your feet. Chief Adigwe fell to his knees, tears streaming down his face. Amara, my child. What happened to you? But Amara turned to Nkem. Her expression was not anger, it was sorrow. You could have been my mother, she said softly. But jealousy turned your heart into a cage. Nkem trembled, backing away. Amara, please, forgive me. I didn't. The spirit of Amara stepped closer. You didn't mean to. But you did. Her hand reached out, not to harm, but to touch. When her fingers brushed Nkem's forehead, a blinding light filled the mansion. When it cleared, Madame Nkem was gone. In her place, a tiny gray fish flopped weakly on the marble floor. The pond, now calm again, rippled once, and then slowly began to dry up, as if taking its final breath. Amara smiled faintly at her father. Don't cry, Papa. Some things can't stay in this world forever. Her form began to fade, turning into mist, and then, into water droplets that vanished into the air. The last thing they heard was her voice, soft and peaceful. Let love stay pure, even in silence. When dawn came, only silence remained, and a single golden scale on the floor, gleaming where Amara once stood. The end. But now tell me. If you were Amara, would you forgive Madame Nkem? Or should she have faced a worse punishment? Let me know what you think in the comments. If this story touched your heart or sent chills down your spine, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video so others can feel it too.